Okay guys, well, another small project day here. It is. There we go. I have, let me show you real quick, you know what I'm talking about, otherwise. Alright, this little compressor under here is going to be used for spraying, because I got the little spray booth up there. So, like little spray with the airbrushes. So I've got the water separator on it here, and naturally the on-off and all that kind of stuff, and the air in. So what I need to do now is get a line. I want to try to make a small line if I can, which sometimes can get kind of tough, to go from the compressor in to here. Now that in itself isn't a problem. Let me let the air out of this. There. The problem being is I got to cut that line and put a piece of copper in there and try to get it together like I did the other fitting, or the other part, so that it'll hold without leaking. This thing keeps getting caught on the little edge over there. So what do I have? I need a burner. Let me just look, and then maybe I can get an idea. Now, what's on the inside? What's on the filter over there? Well, what's on the filter over there is basically one of these. Screws in. So what I'd like to have is something that would screw in. Okay, we have that. Oh, wait a minute. We also have this. That's not going to fit that, I doubt it. Oh, it does. But I'm just wasting it at that point. I'm just wasting two pieces where I only need one. The problem is getting the hose to here, and the hose isn't that thick. Hold a minute, let me get that hose off. I'm going to have to cut it anyway. Yeah, right. See, this is the size of the hose. Now this isn't a problem. What I like to have is, this is the thread that I would need, or this is what's on there. And so this is not going to fit onto that. Now there's plenty of beef on there where I can probably nudge that down a bit. Or can I get it? Well, I might be able to get it. Well, see, this is different, but then I can use this if I have to. If I heat this up a little bit with the heat gun, I like to have a little bit more bite on it than just that. See, like I say, this is what I have. I think you're seeing that. Are you? Yeah, okay. This is what is coming out of the valve and the filter. This is what I have to get this into. And I really don't need to waste it by putting one of those on there, because I can just screw it on there. And even if I were to put one of these on there, I still have to get this attached to that somehow. So it's still a little bit of a fiasco. Now see, this one I believe is a number 1. That's why it's so big. If you look at the differences between them. See the difference in this little ring and how far it is from the top, from the bottom, versus this one. And again. That's why I'm thinking if I can get this one on here and heat it up with the heat gun, I may be able to push it on enough and then put a clamp on it and I'd be all set. So why don't we just try that instead of talking about it? So let me get the heat gun out. I have the internet working. It's only temp because I just ran an overhead wire real quick to see if everything works okay. So then now I have to deal with those two ends. Those two ends. Alright, what I want to do is see. I want to have this ready. Let's see. No, that'll probably be the one to go with. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to do it with this end because hold on. We got to do something else here. Hold on. That's the size. Yeah, I don't like anything overhead because if see, here's the piece. So I'm basically want to do the same thing here that I did this side on this side. Now I didn't do this one. I don't have a crimp for this. However, no, I got a crimp tool for it, but I don't have the crimp. But I can just use a good hose clamp. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get this over this. That's what we're going to try to accomplish. Well, maybe. I'm burning my fingers doing it, because I can't use these. Turn that off for a minute. Okay, I don't even know if I'm recording anymore. Alright. There we go. I said, whoa, come on. When it comes to pay, because like I said, if I pay for it on PayPal, and and I go through my debit card, which will also give me a little bit more support. If there was something wrong, it would be a hassle. You know, I'd have to write a couple of letters, but I'd get my money back. And I'm looking at a $150 piece for $44, which, Anyway, we came out here. I asked the wife, "Babe, can you look this up, see if you can get in?" Well, she got into it, but it kept timing out. It wouldn't click in. You know, almost like they're just like super busy. You know, they just keeps timing out. You're not getting in. That's all there is to it. Now, I got into it last night, or even this morning, but I couldn't get into the payment side of it. So anyway, to make a long story short, I told the wife, forget about it. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Well, she goes inside and decides to pursue it, which I appreciate, but I'll take care of it when I get the time, dear. Oh, and I picked up the one I wanted, and there it is. I was going to say I just threw it in there. That was dumb. Well, that's not the one. Oh, come on. Alright, so what I'm looking to accomplish here is, what is it that I am looking to accomplish? I'm trying to get an airline hooked up over here without wasting a lot of extra parts. And I got a crimp tool to do that with, but I haven't got the crimps. Because what I'm trying to do is put this end on here. Anyway, let's talk about something I was going to order. I was looking for a solder iron. I was going to order a solder iron today. A small one. I didn't want anything big, but I did want something that had a flexible cord, something small in size, something with a separate stand. I like to have found one where the iron plugged into the stand and not so much the unit. So then I could put the unit someplace out of the way completely and just have it hooked up to an on-off switch. But I found a couple of those China versions, which I had one. If you go back a few, maybe even more than a few, well, I had that back there, so I'm going to say a couple years. I bought one of these units from China that has all the bells and whistles on it. It was, I don't know, this big. Digital, 2 controls, solders, little power supply was built into it. Only a 1.5 amp though, it's 12 volts or something. Oh, it was variable, 3 to 15, 1.5 amps though, so it wasn't a heavy duty one. It was like a battery, you know, a little 9-volt battery, that type of amperage. And it had the blower on it for like desoldering and heating up the board, so you can take out a whole IC chip so you don't have to solder each leg. It was a nice piece. It was $100, I think, or under 100. I don't remember. So I said, whoa, I ordered it. Came in, a couple weeks later, started acting up. Had to keep turning it on and off because once it gets so hot, it would cool down and it wouldn't come back up again. Almost like the regulator wasn't working right. So, okay. So I bought another solder iron. It was an orange one at the time, cheap one. I think it was like 20 bucks. So that I can fix the one that I bought. And I found a lot of cold solder joints in it. Well, that would make it happen. When it gets hot, you know, and it's cold, and it just... So, took care of it. It was working. Whoa, okay. A couple weeks later, it starts acting up again. Then the blower unit, the little handle with the heater, that's supposed to shut off when you put it into its stand, which it was. Because you don't want to end up putting it down and blowing, because it'll get that hot to where it'll start a fire. And it does have an on-off switch on it to turn off the blower part. But it got so that wouldn't shut off. So every time I had to walk away from this thing or use it, I had to keep plugging the unit in to 110 so that I can use it, and then I'd have to unplug it from the 110, which is now annoying. Well, after a while, I got tired of it, and I stripped it down. I just took it apart. That's all there was to it.